and welcome to today's Event Tech World demo drop-in. We are going to be diving straight into this today because we have a lot to get through, and this is all about post-event content creation and AI-powered session summaries. So this is about working smarter, not harder, and it's also about getting great experiences for your attendees, your speakers, your sponsors, and your event teams too. So hopefully you're going to see some tools today that really could present some solutions for you and your event team. And a quick reminder of who you're going to be hearing from today. You're going to hear from Ananth from Snapsite first. Then you're going to be hearing from Will at Voxo. Then we have Florentine from UChop, and we then have Lachlan from Rosie Synopsis, and we should be finished well on time. Each of them has 12 minutes to explain who they are, what their organization does, and I've asked them all to share their ideal use case as well, because I know that that is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to finding the right tech tool for you. Do we fit? Fundamentally, I can work out what you do, but are you a good fit for me? Now, use the tools available to us. So please use the emojis, express your feelings on what you're seeing, use the chat, tell us where you're coming from. Maybe drop a word in the chat. How are you with us today? Are you feeling alive? Are you feeling a little bit blur? Are you feeling you need some motivation? Stick it in the chat. Start to let us know who's in the room with us. And of course, use the Q&A as well. And if our demo leaders don't get to answer your question during their 12-minute slot, I'm sure they'll be able to answer it either online on Zoom here immediately, or they can send a response to me afterwards. I'll share that in the summary. You'll get a recording tomorrow, and I think that is pretty much it. One more thing. 2 reasons to stay on until the end. The first is, at the end, I'll be sharing a discount code to the Event Tech World Insider Exchange. And secondly, Snapsite have very kindly got a freebie giveaway for some folks as well. So I'm going to hand the reins straight over to Ananth from Snapsite. Ananth, the microphone is yours. Let's go for it.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, and appreciate you managing this. And let me kick off with sharing my screen first. A quick check. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep, we've got your screen.
Yes, awesome. So I'm Ananth. I manage the growth and partnerships for Snapsite AI. If you have not heard about us, we are the world's first AI summarization tool for events. And it's been a great journey in the past couple of years, because what we have achieved, how it started and how is it going. So I'll use an Instagram template here because it's been a worldwide journey, because we've completed 2 years of our product being matured and with testing and deployment across events the globe. So we have completed more than 400 plus events and across the globe, live, virtual, hybrid, all combinations. And over the period of time, now we are clearly matured into an enterprise-ready platform. That means that they've adopted single sign-ons, ensuring that large scale and small scale, but secure environments can access us. At the same time, enterprise encryption, ensuring all of your content is encrypted and secure. And to address all kinds of events in all geography, GDPR compliance also is a part of our journey as well. Starting off with business events, marketing conferences, and association events, we've now matured into tech and pharma events and healthcare events as well, given the depth of the content is more deeper there. So what kind of problems are we solving here, and who is it relevant to? Why is it relevant to you right now? Because there is a lot of information overload at events, and we are ensuring that too much of content makes it hard to retain key info. This we all faced in any kind of events that we go. And then post-event insights. Summaries being missing, that reduces the interaction and the engagement at the event itself. And moving into the opportunities, organizers would always want to ensure that to get that kind of ROI from the discussion that happened there. So these go unused. And manual content repurposing. As teams are lean, managing larger and larger events, you would not want them to be working on recording and reworking, which takes a lot of time in repurposing that as well. And finally, accessibility, to ensure that you manage to give access to the global audience that you have. Multilinguistic experiences will ensure that the learning process is more easier and organic. So events have so many formats of content. So there's a lot of unique and great content which comes up, which are not captured and leveraged. What does Snapsite do is it's able to capture everything in real time and extract and deliver value to the attendees right there and then. This is a live experience to the attendee itself. Of course, there is a post-event experience as well, but the live experience makes it skyrocket the engagement, also the effect of the impact right there itself. So let us visualize this for your event. If your event is similar to this, you would have a speaker leading the session, and they would be with support of Snapsite, either through a QR code that can be accessed, or it can be embedded in your event app itself. The attendee can just scan the QR code and then get access to this right away. What they get access to: the first, key takeaways, concise summaries, which are topic wise, which identify with what the discussion was and give you a basic understanding of every topic, the key topics especially. The second tab is the Idea Cloud. This is a powerful feature. This is a dynamic experience. This will give you a visualization of all the topics and gives you depth as well. As you see, when somebody wants to click, when somebody clicks into a topic of interest, they would see a verbatim quote from them as well. Right here, the verbatim quote of the speaker is attributed accurately so that you would see the depth of the content in more detail. And then the share button is available for anyone to share those insights in real time to their personal or their professional networks, and also in PDF formats as well. The final one is the summary, which is the gist of the session. And that's particularly very useful when somebody has really missed the session altogether. So the entire gist is in a very readable format for them to absorb. So let's do a demo. Let me start with the first half of the demo with an industry event. IMEX is an event which we all know is one of the large conferences and exhibitions, which is hosted for the event and many other professionals as well. This is a good example to start because we are proud to have deployed it every edition of them from the past couple of years. And you would see IMEX had around 100 sessions here. So if I may request all the attendees to just scan this QR code to just quickly, if you have access to your phone, to experience what an attendee would have experienced at that event right there. I'll give you just a second. I have less seconds left. So yeah, while you're scanning this, what you would see is IMEX is a large show. It has multiple tracks. You would get into first the locations and then select your location. After you select your location, you would see the experience going into the session which you need from the track. And then after that, you can go into the key takeaways, the Idea Cloud, and the summary. You can switch to the language of preference that you need to. Yeah, sorry, I'm just moving ahead. Yeah, you can switch into the language of preference that you need to. I will just move into the second part of the demonstration so that you can scan this also and discuss more in detail. So IMEX, as much as we know, it's a large conference with great content, but it is a content specific to events and marketing and that specific industry. The second part of this demonstration is to give you an understanding of the kinds of other content that we're able to analyze in real time. So that is the healthcare industry or other industries like tech, pharmaceutical, and everywhere. We are using advanced LLMs to ensure that industry-specific jargon is captured accurately. For this demonstration, I've utilized the content from the European Association of Hepatology. Imagine if you're organizing a healthcare event and your prospective attendee is a doctor or a healthcare professional. They would want to come and retain the content as much as they want because that is very crucial information that they would not want to mix. But it's a matter of fact, multiple tracks and also time being a concern, they would not be able to absorb all the content. With Snapsite, if you see this demonstration, you would see that the level of accuracy that we are able to handle advanced and more deep content. So this is a hepatology conference with by John Schattenberg itself, where they have even the analysis has captured nuanced medical jargon, tech terminology related to the medical field itself. So this might not be relevant to you and me who are here on who don't have a relative background about healthcare, but somebody who in the attendees would have advanced understanding of this. So that is what Snapsight is able to achieve automatically. So we have removed the kind of logistical baggage that you would need to go through with regards to translations, with regards to note takers, with regards to any other heavy lifting that needs to be done, because everything is done simply. Just an example here is that while the session is happening, what happens in the backend? The session is happening in real time. We're able to pick up the transcription and deliver it right there. And when the transcription is picked up in real time, you would see that the key takeaways, the idea cloud, the summary, everything is also generated in real time. And the session is still ongoing right there. It's fairly useful when just after the session, they can take a pause before the Q&A and ask the attendees to just scan the QR code or even go to the event app and access these summaries before they go ahead and ask questions. That will make the content, that will make the interaction more content centric, and it would not divert further as well. In the interest of time, I would just keep it shorter. This is apart from this, we are ensuring that the event is also accessible in all languages. What does that mean is that we didn't even know that we were able to support so many. We started off with a few, and with state-of-art tech, we are able to now support 75 languages. I didn't even know these many languages there, but trust me, they are. The list is long. So please feel free to access it on the back end when we upgrade to you. And we would be happy to add any other languages if you find that are not there here. A quick glance on the kind of enterprise grade security and compliance that we adhere to. ISO certification ensures the kind of pen tests that we've gone through. GDPR and PDPR compliance ensures that we are ready to go in all kinds of geographies like Europe as well. And our SOC 2 certification ensures that we have passed through advanced security protocols. This is crucial for you because anyone who is managing content would want to utilize advanced security protocols, ensuring that their content is in safe hands. So that's about a view about the security and the kinds of events that we work with. This is a favorite for associations. This is a favorite for corporates doing events. This is a favorite for conference organizers who are dealing with content heavy events as well. So we've worked with them all with more than 400 plus event deployments. It's been a great experience till now. A case study that would resonate with all of you because Siemens is one of the large enterprise accounts that we have where we have actively reduced their turnaround time for real-time event content repurposing. And this is a testimony to showcase our security protocol strength, the kind of flexibility that we have in use cases, and the scale of which we can manage stuff as well. I'll share this after the event to the organizer so that we can look at the case studies in deeper. So as I think I'm in the end of the final minute, I will take some questions, and there is going to be a special offer for the EWT community, which will be coming to your inbox as well. Thank you.
Amazing. And that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And there are 2 questions that have come in, and we're going to have to be super, super, super sharp on answering these for time. First question from Bob Mitchell. Hi, Bob. Thank you so much for coming. In order to share in real time, does the person have to be an attendee of the event, and/or does the person have to have the Snapsight app?
Okay, so if the organizer, there is no need for them to be at the event. It's the organizer's choice. If the organizer wants to share it to all the registrations as well, they can share it. And if the person is, there is no need for any Snapsight application. We are agile. We can add it to any app or keep it democratic through a QR code as well.
Awesome, thank you. And last question from Emma Duncan, and I hope I've got the right Emma Duncan here. I think this is Emma, who used to be a leader of events. IBM, I hope I'm allowed to say that on the webinar. Her question is, she's interested to know if you need any special kit to capture the spoken word and the presentation material, and how you need to set this up in advance.
I love the question. It addresses so many things. Yes. So you do not need too much of preparation for this. We just need the basics, the session name, the description, and the speaker details, and that's about it. You don't need to put up any abstracts. It's no need to put up any other presentation, lengthy literature as well. So we keep it agile, but we're able to analyze very deep.
Awesome. Thank you. And amazing. You're on time as well. So gold stars all round. Will Curran is up next from Voxo. So I don't think this fella needs any introduction. Will, over to you.
Thanks so much, Vanessa. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for being here. I'm super stoked to be here. First, I want to make sure everybody's awake, alive, and energized with their tea or their coffee, depending on what they selected in the chat. And so real quick, down at the bottom center, you're going to see there's a React button. Go ahead and click on that, and there's a button that says raise hand. Right now, I want to do a quick virtual wave. So the way we're going to do this is on 3, I'm going to tell everyone to raise your hands, and then we're going to put them down. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Everybody raise your hands. All right. And Graham, Aaron, Chris, David, Jessica, stop checking your emails. I know that's what you're doing. I want you here right now. All right, everybody put your hands down. All right, now click that. We're going to do it one more time. Everybody raise your hands up in the React button. All right, there we go. All right, 21, 22, 23. All right, guys, you can all put your hands down. I just want to make sure everyone's awake, energized, and ready to go. I'm super stoked to be here. My name is Will Curran. I'm representing Voxo today. Voxo essentially is going to take all the session data that you're taking on, and very similar to Snapsite, and basically provide very beautiful reports. So you guys are all here to see demos and actually see the tech, though. I've been doing this for a very long period of time, and I know that we all love to talk about the hypotheticals and everything like that. So I figured I'd show you some examples of how we do this. The way that we deliver our reports, which I'll show you some of them in just a second, is that we provide them primarily through a landing page. This is two great ways to do this, either through a QR code that you plaster all around the event, put in signage, everything like that. I'm going to show you some live streams as well, which is pretty cool. But the other example is that you can also embed this inside of any mobile app. One thing that makes Voxo fantastic is that over the course of the last 4 years, when we've been doing events, we've been doing events for a very long period of time. If many of you know, I've been doing events for a very long period of time. So we found that it's very hard sometimes to integrate event technology, especially when it's working with another event technology company. And as you start to see, you'll see with Voxo, what's great is that because it's a very simple iframe that gets embedded, we can embed within any event technology. And because we're not attached to any larger platform or any larger event technology company, it makes it super duper easy to get embedded and to play nice in the sandbox, which is sometimes hard in the event tech world. So here's an example of one of the landing pages. You can come in here and find out, okay, for example, I want to see the keynote session with Andy Cohen. I just go ahead and click on here and boom, it downloads the report. We provide them in PDF format. We found this is great for a couple different reasons. One, it's just super duper easy to be able to download and to be able to view on any device. And also the brandability. This is something that makes Voxo absolutely incredible, is you have the ability to put your own branded images in. You'll see some of our AI generated images and the ability to customize this completely. The length of the summary, how many number of key takeaways are on there. And one of the most powerful things is this ending slide. The ability for you to brand it and put sponsorable images on it as well is super duper powerful. I think this is super great because it makes it so then that way now these AI summaries that you are generating become a sponsorable asset. And we know one of the largest challenges in events today is generating more sponsorship value and therefore more sponsorship revenue as well. So now you have an ability for these reports to be able to fully branded with all your sponsors' logos. You can sponsor all the reports. You can sponsor specific tracks of the reports. You can even sponsor specific reports as well, which is super duper cool. Something that I wish I had back in the day. So that's an example of one of the reports. We also provide them in LinkedIn format as well. If you've ever seen a carousel post on LinkedIn, they're going absolutely crazy right now. LinkedIn prioritizes first-party content posted on LinkedIn. So what's great about this is that by being able to generate a LinkedIn version, you can their speakers can upload it as a carousel post, which is very much prioritized as well in the feed right now. And it makes it so then that way your speakers now become marketing advocates for your event. Again, how can we use this asset, this technology, to not only generate sponsorship revenue, but also become a way to drive more attendance to your events? And so all the speakers start posting about the conference. Now you start to generate some buzz and start to sell more tickets and more butts and seats, which we know is a big challenge for organizers. So this is what the LinkedIn version looks like. Again, fully brandable on there as well. So we do each of the session reports. Then the next cool thing is that we then funnel that up into a daily report. What's cool about this is that now you not only are taking the reports that summarize each session, but you're now pulling key insights from each day across multiple sessions. And you're able to summarize what the heck happened on day one, as an example. We start to bring in big topics that are discussed, so you start to understand like where people are starting to go. I also love this, that we start to pull in these deeper dives into each topic as well. And what's cool about our system is we also have the ability to identify speakers and pull out specific quotes from those speakers as well. Again, fully brandable the entire time. Then we take all those daily reports and we fold them up into an entire event report, which is super duper cool. Very similar: summaries, key takeaways, topics, all that fun stuff. But then we start to do deep dives on the topics, where we start to say like, what was actually talked about when it comes to engagement at the event? What sort of smart cuts were discussed? All that fun stuff. And then as an organizer, again, something I wish I had when I was planning events back in the day, is potential future topics. We unlock basically to show, what super topics can you do in the future, which is really, really cool, because now my job as an organizer is already starting to get done for next year. But then also as an attendee, I get excited about where's this organizer seeing that the future of the event is going to start to go, which is super duper cool. All right. I wanted to show you guys some more examples as well, so you can see some fully brandable examples. This is from the AI Summit that we just did in London last week, 2 weeks ago or so. So you can start to see on here, we have the ability to change colors, fonts, all that fun stuff. What's also very cool is that we have the ability to do AI generated images. So as part of our reports being instantly generated the second a speaker walks off stage, we have the ability to create these amazing, beautiful AI images that you can see as aligning with the branding. This branding was very white, yellow, black as colors. So the AI generate images look on brand completely through the entire part. So I think one thing that's also very, very cool about this entire process with what we do is that we actually provide a level of QA. So I say it's instantaneous. However, we are actually going to have a staff member who's actually going to review all these reports just to make sure the AI overlords haven't taken over quite yet, which is pretty cool. This makes sure that everything looks good, it's on brand, everything like that. And that the AI models aren't going completely off rails. Usually they aren't, but it's always good just to feel confident knowing that, especially for some customers, that things are absolutely accurate and looking really, really good. So that's something that makes us a little bit unique, is that our entire process is very much hands off for the organizer. We're going to work with you to figure out what we want the branding to look like and make sure this matches all of your branding and everything like that. However, we do want to make sure that when you show up on site, you don't have to think about this at all. You don't have to set up anything. We take care of everything completely for you. And we find that that's something that a lot of our customers say they really appreciate, is the fact that it's just not another hat they have to wear. They don't have to now become the AI content generator as part of their team. They can just hand this to us and take care of everything as well. Here's some more examples of different branding and everything like that as well within these reports. One last thing I wanted to show you guys that I think is very, very cool is that you start to generate these PDF reports that start to show, more about your event, and, start to create these amazing assets that get shared on social media by attendees and speakers. But we also create these live feeds. And a live feed essentially is a web page that you can post on a horizontal or vertical, as I'll show you in a second. That's a feed of, as all the reports are getting generated, you can see them getting generated in real time, which is very, very cool. What's great about this is that a lot of attendees love to circle around the TVs, and, instead of attending the sessions, they like to stand around the TVs and talk about all the topics and all the different sessions and reports that they start to see as they start to come out, which is very, very cool. And we do this in both horizontal as well as vertical, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, again, just super duper cool. Everything's fully brandable. Of course, my dark mode is not liking me at all. So yeah, that's essentially Voxo in about 5 minutes or so. I think I might be a little bit under, but let's get more time for Q&A. I'm going to drop a link in the chat to my meeting link. If you guys are interested in scheduling a meeting with me to learn a little bit more, or ask questions that may be too shy to ask during the webinar, feel free to use that meeting scheduling link. And as part of it, we're offering 20% off to all Event Tech World members. So you guys come in and join on in, schedule a meeting with me, and happy to give you guys that discount as well.
Amazing. Will, thank you so much. And thank you for that offer for Event Tech World members as well. Really appreciate it. You've got some questions. So first question up is, how do you capture data and info? And do you have to plug into audio?
Yeah, so the way we work is we capture audio strictly for the event. We don't pull any sort of presentation data or anything like that. And reason why is we want to capture exactly what's talked about. And as a speaker, there's sometimes where my slides are not what I'm talking about, right? Even this presentation, I'm talking about different stuff than I was planning on talking about. So we capture the audio, which we think is very, very important to getting an accurate representation of everything. How is it done? Two different ways that we do it. One is that you can just tell us, hey, here's all the rooms. We show up, we plug in our devices to the audio boards and the AV equipment that you have, and we take care of everything for you. The second option is that you just RTMP stream it. So if you've ever done any live streaming before, RTMP is the most common way of doing it. So we just take a simple 320 kilobit audio stream and stream it back to our servers and take care of everything from there. What's great about this, low bandwidth, which is very important when a hotel and conference Wi-Fi usually sucks, let's be honest. So it makes it so that way it's not a lot of bandwidth, and it's also very, very simple and low cost as well. Most AV companies know how to RTMP stream audio out very, very simply as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Will. And Jessica has a question.
Hey,
is there a way to customize or edit the output? So perhaps less text, more bullets, for example, perhaps just the highlights for quicker reads. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything can be customized in terms of not only, like I said, the branding and the way it physically looks, but also, yes, the length. If you want the summary to be longer, we can make it longer. If you want it to be shorter, you can make it shorter. I think a great example of this is Event Tech Live. Our friend Adam Perry, he actually wanted the ability for the deep dives of the topics not to be framed as topics, but as questions. So actually, as you look at the daily reports, you'll actually see that they ask questions. Like, what are the big questions that everybody's asking when it comes to the major topics happening at Event Tech Live, as an example. So yeah, a lot of flexibility, a lot of customizability, which I think is really where the power of Voxo comes in, is that depending on what you're looking for, we can make it happen.
All right. Thank you very much. Last question for you. Is it as simple as an organization just sharing their brand guidelines with you? Do you do some testing to demonstrate in advance to the organization that the reports have generated comply with the brand? And how long does this process take? And that was Emma Duncan again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Emma. Yeah, so the ability to see it, yes, definitely. We're going to go back and forth with you to make sure it looks absolutely perfect. If you are interested in seeing what an example report looks like, feel free to just shoot me an email. I'll drop my email in the chat as well, and happy to show you an example report. And yeah, in terms of simplicity, we can very easily just get your brand guidelines and then go from there and try to infer. We've done that for the couple customers where they give us very abstract brand guidelines, or sometimes non-existent brand guidelines, and then we kind of figure out what's going to look best. But the best part about it is that if you have a very, very exact vision of what you want this to look like, an example of this is we're working with a really, really big marketing software. Can't say their name quite yet, but they basically are like, we want this to look exactly like this guideline, and so we basically work with them to get it absolutely perfect, and then make sure that they can see a bunch of examples and everything like that as well.
And how long might that take in a short answer?
Yeah, thank you. Probably less than a day. It depends on how much back and forth you want to do, but our pre-production process is very, very short.
Pretty speedy. Will, thank you. Fantastically insightful. Really appreciate it. And just before we go on to our third demo, I am noticing a few folks have joined in the last 20 minutes or so. So hello and welcome again. And I would like to ask all of you to participate. Again, this is a test. Are you listening? Give us an emoji, probably a thumbs up, if you have ever experienced any of these sorts of tools before, not necessarily just the two that we've seen, but any sort of post-event session summary tool before. I know there's a couple of people on the call. Yeah. So not loads, a few coming through. As expected, wasn't expecting to see everybody's coming up there, but a few, which is encouraging. This is happening, and it's starting to become more of an everyday experience for us. Now, next one. I don't think loads of you will have seen this before, so I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to add, and also the other reason I'm excited, this is quite different to the last two that we've seen, and it's great to see there's differences and different suitabilities and different tools out there for different events. So, Florentine from UChop, the microphone is yours.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, and hi, everyone. Let me start off as well by sharing my screen. Let me know if it's okay.
Yep.
All
We've
right,
got
perfect. So, hi, everyone. I'm Florentin from UChop, partner at UChop, and I'm glad to be here with you today. UChop is an event tech marketing company. We enable our clients to reach untapped audiences, to find new customers and partnership deals. Now, I want you to ask yourself, have you struggled to get that big catch from your next event? More leads, more engagement, more ROI. Let's talk about how to get there. So, take a look at this image. Think of your event like a fishing trip, and us, UChop, as your expert fishing guide. Most teams only cast one lonely line, your internal comms or marketing, and end up catching a single fish. But you need more fish to grow, like on the right. As your expert fishing guide, we show you your best hooks, your event participants, speakers, attendees, sponsors, and partners. Then we turn their voice into powerful, personalized, and relevant video highlights. Irresistible bait. It's catchy, it's relevant, and ready in minutes. Let me show you a quick example of a partner at Building Bridges Summit, the largest sustainable finance event in Geneva. It was shared within 3 hours after the event or after delivery. As you can see, the engagement is incredible. This was also reposted by André Hofman, the speaker and vice chairman of Roche, one of the largest biotech companies in the world, because it was posted quickly and was relevant. We can then collect information from each piece of content posted on LinkedIn to provide more qualified leads. Let me get back to the presentation and then show you more. So let me show you how our system turns stage time into pipeline in reverse, starting with the results. So we have more qualified leads, new sponsorship deals, and 85% less time chasing speakers. Let me introduce you to Peter. So this is Peter. He just received a personal video highlight while walking off the stage at your event, and he posted it on LinkedIn within 1 hour. Comments roll in, sponsors notice, new leads appear. His highlight post is working harder than the entire media buy. And how did we get to post him so fast? How did we get him to post so fast? Well, Peter received this clip immediately after the talk by notification, email, text message. And we see that this is the moment when speakers are energized and are very quickly to share. So there's a misalignment with when speakers receive content, if even they receive their content immediately. So that's where we see that we have the best results. However, if 5 hours have passed and still no post, maybe Peter had to run to his next session because he didn't have time. So UChop sends a quote card as a little reminder to take action. So this is the auto follow-up. 24 hours later and still no activity after the final reminder. Our system flags it and alerts your team. Maybe the validation process is taking some time. We've created highlights for presidents and top CEOs. Even if we follow the provided guidelines, for some media teams to accept and post takes a bit more time. But with our workflow, we see that 83% of the speakers post our content, and early content has more than 300% engagement compared to 3+ days later. And our system isn't just for your speakers. It also works for your attendees. All your event participants are stars. We make sure they shine by providing them all a stage for thought leadership through a personal, relevant highlight, ready within 30 minutes. They feel special, they become part of your event story, and walk away with something great to share on their business or personal profile immediately. I mean, we've all seen people share their activities online, uh, mostly pictures and articles. With us, you give them something professional, dynamic, and engaging. That's what we've also done for the following clients. Every year, the UN Global Compact run their flagship business event concerning trade, development, and technology in New York. Last year, we delivered over 150 speaker and attendee highlights, with 80% posting on different platforms and 81% on LinkedIn. For this year, the anticipated highlights are going to be over 200. Building Bridges, as I previously mentioned, is one of the largest sustainable finance event in Geneva. We delivered more than 60 speaker and attendee highlights, with 85% of them posting on LinkedIn. Let me quickly show you another example from the FIMO Quotient at CES. This post was shared a couple of days after the event. The impact could have been significantly higher had it been done quicker, similar to the last example I provided. Now, based on what I've shared or shown and the system we've developed, I believe you can clearly see that UChop is designed and built for live B2B events. We decentralize content distribution by leveraging event participants' networks, and we use a unique human plus tech workflow to achieve this anywhere in the world. We just need a good internet connection, and then most of it we can do remote. To understand our ideal use case, imagine your next B2B event. 50 plus inspiring speakers, multiple stages, a packed agenda, and of course, a strong internet connection, where your team's objective is to stand out online, identify new customers, and new partnership deals, sponsorship deals. And you don't have to worry about the security and ownership of your content. Our proprietary platform gives you full control and ownership of your content. Unlike YouTube and Vimeo, everything runs directly through us. All videos are stored safely in Switzerland, where strict privacy laws help protect your information. UChop only uses personal data when provided by the client to deliver the content. And that data is deleted when we finish our delivery campaigns. This is a maximum of 48 hours after the event. As a SaaS platform, we integrate easily with your event tech stack, live streaming, event management platforms, virtual platforms, mobile apps, you name it. And if you need more flexibility, that's fine. We offer lightweight APIs and webhooks to keep everything connected and running smoothly. So this setup has allowed us to be highly flexible and scale easy, which has resulted in some of our clients describing us as fast, streamlined, innovative, agile, professional, groundbreaking, necessary, and yes, trees. So if you have any questions, I give you the floor now, and you can find all my contact details on the side. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Florentine. And I do have a couple of questions here. One from Harris. Can UChop also be used on other social media platforms?
Of course. So we provide the content, and you can share the content wherever you believe it to be most necessary. As I mentioned before, from the UN Global Compact business events, 89% was shared on various platforms. We believe that LinkedIn is the most relevant platform because we're a B2B focused event company.
Great, thank you. Next one from Bob Mitchell. How does one decide on the length of the clip, and how can you customize that for a particular section of the video?
Yes, so usually the clips are between 60 and 90 seconds. However, we have a group, or we work with experienced journalists that watch your event live, and that's how we're able to create the content so fast. They basically decide the length of the video. We have had instances where the short has been longer than 90 seconds because we couldn't just cut the idea, but most of them are less than 90 seconds. Could even be 30 seconds.
Brilliant, thank you. And I think you've somewhat answered this last question, but I'm going to ask you anyway in case there's some extra detail to add in.
Absolutely.
How are the clips actually generated for attendees and
Yes, so for the speakers, we basically plug into the live stream, and if the live stream is not available, we can provide one, and that's how our team is able to watch remote and provide the content. For the attendees, we have an insight station that we can place on site with a journalist to guide the attendees, but we also have the possibility to scan the application where people could record themselves. Obviously, being recorded at the insight station seems more professional, but as I mentioned, we do provide the possibility to give everyone a thought leadership stage.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Florentine. Brilliant. Really
Right.
enjoyed. I can see Katrina Wheeler in the chat and said it's very interesting. I totally agree with her. We are going to move straight on to our last but definitely not least demo of the day. So I'm going to be passing the microphone now over to Lachlan from Rosie Synopsys. And Florentine, if you could stop sharing your screen, that would be fab. Lachlan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. It's great to be here, everyone. Looking forward to talking to you all today. So I'm just going to share my screen and get right into presenting. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, we are good to go.
Perfect. So everyone, what you're seeing in front of you is kind of the visual representation of what Rosie Synopsys does in action at events. Live speaker insights, distilled and displayed live in real time as a session unfolds. But before we get into that there, let's kind of step a little bit back and just kind of, it might be some of your first times hearing about Rosie Synopsys, so give you a bit of insight to who we are. So at Rosie Synopsys, we believe we're the most complete event intelligence platform available in the market, supporting events, both before, during, and after the event takes place. So within the team, we have over a decade of deep event expertise, but our team also are, AI practitioners with real world expertise in artificial intelligence.
Lachlan, Lachlan, sorry to interrupt you. I apologize. You're sharing the speaker view. So you probably want to close and share presenter view. I'm so sorry to interrupt you mid-flow, but handing back over to you now.
That's okay. Let me see.
Got that's good. There we go. Top left-hand side, 3 icons in. We've got presenter view. A little bit higher with your mouse. A little bit higher.
So sorry, the technical difficulties. Let me see.
Perfect.
Is that back to presenter mode, or how is that?
I think that's your presenter view.
We do seem to still have.
You might have to.
We've still got you in presenter view. Will, you're the
Play
pro
from
at this.
start. On the top left, play from start. Just close this. Yeah, and then continue to share. Yep.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
You're all set.
Lachlan, I think you're back on.
Perfect. Let me see here. So a little bit of technical difficulties. So.
Good. Well, whilst Lachlan's just checking this out, just a reminder to stay on. A couple of offers coming up at the end of the session, and looking forward to seeing final one. Are you ready to go, Lachlan?
Give me 1 second there. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what's
no problem.
what's
Absolutely fine.
the issue.
So, whilst
So-
I'll take this opportunity then, if I may, because I was going to say this at the end, but so I don't have to keep any of you for any longer than needed. The Event Tech World Insider Exchange is taking place in London on the 16th of July. It's the first of its kind, and it is very, very much geared for the companies that buy event technology. So there's going to be 40 or 50 of us in a very fabulous pub venue. I'm sure anyone joining us from the States will find it amusing to hear that a Brit is running an event in a pub. But it's all about peer-to-peer discussion, peer-to-peer knowledge exchange, and bringing knowledge to one another that otherwise it's really, really hard to get. And the most important thing that we want to make sure happens there is that you leave with a whole new support network for your event tech implementations and folks you can go to for advice that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily know and have met. So the topic leaders are nearly all companies who buy event technology themselves. We've got a mixture from in-house corporates as well as commercial exhibition organizing companies, and it's going to be something really, really quite special. I'm very proud of what we've created. So I'll share the link to it a little bit later on. Lachlan, are you ready?
I hope we're ready.
You're looking good. You've got you on one side and your screen on the other side, so it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Should we have another go and see how you get on?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Do you want to try flick to the next screen and see if it flicks on for us as well?
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, it's the next slide.
We're covering. Yeah, let me see. Can you share? So, what you're seeing in front of you. Perfect. So, what you're seeing in front of you is an example of what Rosie AI is doing. Rosie Synopsys is doing at an event. You know, we're capturing what the speakers are saying live at the event and turning the speakers' insights into a live dynamic visual for the speakers, for the attendees at the event. So on the left-hand side here, you can see how we were at WDS, an event in Dublin, where the speakers were talking on stage. Those insights are being shown to the audience in the crowd. So, and then, you know, those insights aren't just available on the stage screen. Those insights are available to attendees within their event app as well. So we're creating, you know, that their multimodal experience for the attendees. They can engage with the insights on screen and within their event app. So, and within the event app, you know, within the second screen experience, we've integrated with, you know, other event apps that are out there, the likes of, you know, Grip, within Swapcard, you know, having those insights integrated into the event apps, so the attendees can kind of access them all within, you know, one space. You know, then what happens after the event then is we basically turn those insights into content for the attendees. So you can see here some of the templates, the example templates that we have generated from an event. These post-event reports on the right-hand side, but then also more kind of presentation format for attendees as well. So basically within the system, we can basically templatize depending on what brand guidelines an event has, and then basically create the reports automatically based within that there. So let me skip to the next slide. So as I mentioned, you know, we're enabling, you know, event organizers, you know, right throughout that their full event life cycle. Well, pre-event, when the event organizers are setting up the solution, we can integrate with your existing speaker management solutions to basically pull in the agenda, pull in the bios, pull in all those speaker details. So there's no spreadsheets, there's no uploading. As soon as the you know, those updates are done on the speaker management side, they're updated within our admin dashboard. So then during the event, you know, this is when the magic happens, when Synopsys comes to life. This is where we are capturing those speaker insights and have them displayed in, you know, different formats for the attendees, you know, both on screen, in the app, and then also within within the auditorium. So, but then post-event, we take all those insights and basically, you know, ensuring that momentum doesn't stop post-event, because we all know within the event space, once the lights come down, engagement falls off a cliff. And we know as event marketers, you know, if we can keep that engagement going, it keeps the community going, it keeps the event lasting longer in people's mind. So this is why we create all that, generate reports, session debriefs, post-event reports, so the event organizers can use this to engage with their community after the event has finished. So I know we actually heard a lot from from their vendors today on, you know, but I think it's interesting to hear, you know, what are we actually hearing from the stakeholders from events, the speakers, the attendees, the event organizers, and also the exhibitors. So what we're hearing from speakers is it's helped them clarify their message. So it's helped them kind of extend the impact of their talk. So while people are at the event, you know, they're seeing these messages reinforced both in the event app, within the second screen experience, but also on the screens on the stage. So speakers, you know, see it as their message is being re-emphasized with the attendees. Then we hear from attendees that they're saying, you know, they're being pulled in multiple different directions at events. You know, they're feeling this FOMO. They're attending sessions, they're having meetings, they're on the expo floor, but they feel like they're not getting as much value from the event. And, you know, they certainly sometimes don't have time to take notes. You see people scribbling away sometimes in this, on their seats. But what attendees are saying is, you know, I didn't have to take notes, but they can still walk away with, you know, what really matters from the event. And then event organizers said, you know, they're helping, we're helping them basically deliver much more value than they thought humanly possible. Basically creating session debriefs for every single session automatically with our AI engine. So basically for a marketing team, we've heard it before where it takes 2-3 weeks to create these post-event reports. We're creating that there as soon as the event is finished and helping event organizers do more. Then for exhibitors, you know, one of the big thing exhibitors tell us is, you know, they're stuck on the event floor all day. They don't get to engage with the sessions, even though they'd love to see the content. What this has allowed them to do is essentially catch up later on this second screen experience and catch up on those key takeaways. So enough from me. I'd like, you know, to actually, you know, show you what an event organizer is saying out there in the industry, you know, hear from some exhibitors, speakers, and attendees from an event. So I have a short video to show you that, that I'd like to play. So.
So the Synopsys event products that we used, the Rosie AI products, the first view was, wow, this actually works. Because there is a level of cynicism around AI sometimes, but the technology is there now. It's not a pie in the sky. There's a lot of complex issues in most industries, but in aviation, there's a ton of complexity. You know, we find it difficult sometimes to summarize those issues and bring it together and find the themes. And I think the insights that the Synopsys for Events gives you those themes succinctly and directly, and it's, you know, easy to read, easy to use. Often you'll see people on their laptops trying to note down everything. It saves them that whole hassle of having to type, listen, and think at the same time.
Synopsys for Events has really helped us with what we can offer delegates from a pre and post-event perspective. A lot of the delegates these days need to be able to show quantifiable takeaways from what they've gathered in terms of information from learnings. And actually at the show this year, we'll be able to provide them with a full comprehensive white paper covering a number of the tracks and a number of the sessions so that they can take that back to the office and share both internally and for their own personal learnings. Each speaker will get a synopsis of their key points within the session, and they'll be able to take that back to the office and use it for any sort of post-event follow-ups, any content that they want to generate post-event as well to educate further.
So my first impression of Synopsys at the event, I was really impressed with the technology because there's so much going on with these large crowds at these events to really get that key synopsis and the messaging of what the presenters were delivering was a great takeaway. And to understand that after the presentation was done, we can download that and share that across other individuals at our company that would benefit from having this information that wouldn't attend. Synopsys, I would love to see at every event. Actually, I'm going to take this technology back because my company, ARC, we put on events throughout the year, and I can see us incorporating this technology to help improve the guest experience at our events coming up as well. Outstanding technology, great product, look forward to using it.
I think it was a completely different experience for me. While focusing on what the speaker was saying, but sometimes missing the context, when I look at the Synopsys output, it was really summarizing the whole discussion, the long discussion, into a very brief one, which was very accurate, to the point, and picking up the right context from that long conversation.
We have so many tracks running at the same time. We have attendees, but they can't be everywhere. I think as an organizer, it's nice to be able to say we've got some kind of feedback from each content that we can supply to you. I think it's just a really nice snapshot, and it makes the organizer's life a little bit easier when you can say, yes, we've got feedback for the attendees.
The solution, I don't need to worry. I'm there, I'm listening, I'm grabbing as much as, but after that, I can go through these recordings and summaries and can refresh my memories.
What it has really evolved to is solving a fundamental problem of where do I go from here? What do I do with my learning? How do I bring together and sustain the energy of these events past the event itself?
So there you have it, folks. That's what the event organizers and people out there in the industry are saying about us. You know, they're experiencing the value of Rosie Synopsys, and you know, really bringing AI to their events. So despite the earlier technical issues, it'd be great to kind of field any questions from the audience out there.
Well done though, Lachlan. It's always horrible having to do this live when something isn't working how you want it to. There are 2 questions. First one, really quick answers, please.
Yeah.
AI quality control. So one of our attendees saying there's a concern that they have around AI generated quality content having the right quality. So how would you respond to that? What's your initial thought?
So our team's is constantly doing benchmarking, you know, understanding which models provide the best kind of contextual analysis based on the inputs from the speakers. So, you know, we're constantly iterating on, you know, which models can give the best output, but then we also tailor the solution to, you know, fit particular domains. So we find as well, the more we do a certain domain, a certain industry type, the better the AI gets. So we've done, you know, within the aviation world, we've done World Aviation Festival, Aviation Festival Americas, but then within health as well, you know, we've done the health event in Las Vegas. So, you know, we set the parameters and guardrails essentially for the domain. So it understands, you know, you heard it from the event organizer there, each particular industry has very, you know, specific terminology. So we essentially, you know, sit down with the team before the event to understand what that terminology might be, and basically, you know, put those inputs into the solution. So it can basically adapt to the scenario that's set.
Great. Thank you. We have got one more question, but I'm going to ask you to answer it for me afterwards, and I'll put it in the summary email in the interest of time. 2 things. Firstly, I put in the chat the discount code for the Event Tech World Insider Exchange. Snapsight have very kindly offered a complimentary use for a first event, and Ananth has just put that in the chat as well, and also he'll be sharing that link with me so I can put it in the wrap-up email too. So don't worry if you haven't quite managed to copy and paste it, and I'm very keen for us to finish on time. So thank you to all of our attendees for coming and having your brain very, very much filled with information. But thank you also to Ananth from Snapsight, Will from Voxo, Florentine from UCHOP, and also Lachlan from Rosie Synopsys. Keep in touch with Event Tech World. There's more of these demo drop-ins coming towards the end of the year and many other engagements for our event professionals. Thank you again to all of our presenters and see you again all online soon. Thank you very much.